All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm ready to go to dinner. It's like 48 degrees here in Tampa. I'm getting ready to go to dinner. I'm having a nice night here. And I see a tweet from Ian Rappaport. Plot twist, awesome. Bucks offense coordinator Liam Coen has been speaking with the Jaguars in person for their head coaching job, and he is a key candidate to be the coach in Jacksonville, me and Tom Pelissero. Days after agreeing to a massive extension in Tampa, he may find a head coaching job he could not refuse. And then we see this one. Coaching searches can get crazy. This is a new one. Bucks agreed to an extension, but it wasn't signed. No contact. I don't know if he meant contract, but no contact at all between Liam Coen and the Bucks. The Jaguars situation changed dramatically. They fired their GM, yada yada yada. Now he's in Jacksonville building discussion around the head coaching job. I mean, what on earth is about to happen? This is really stupid on Liam Cohen's part. I will say this from the Bucks standpoint. If he is going to decide to just betray, it feels like betrayal to the Jacksonville Jaguars to be their head coach. And I maybe I'm being a little bit too emotional right now, but I think he would kind of ruin a lot of relationships that he has specifically with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization if he were to actually take this head coaching job. Now, if this was a couple of days ago before Jacksonville fired their crappy GM, you'd feel a little bit different because Liam Coen was one of the bigger names out there on the head coaching search because we're in an offensive era. End of the day, yes, obviously you need a defense, as we kind of saw from the Buccaneers season this year, but we're in a quarterback offensive driven league. And I guess Liam Cohen's kind of enamored by or intrigued by Trevor Lawrence, to say the least. But folks, I'll keep it brief for you guys. Before we get any further, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Buccaneer content, sometimes a couple a day like today. Try and get this video to 100 likes, folks. That would mean the absolute world to me. I'm about to hit Pineapple J's, and I just see the worst possible news here. So I don't like this at all. That's not a good. Maybe we do this. No, we'll stick it with this. The good news is the silver lining, if you're going to find a silver lining, is let's just say because of this report that dropped in the last hour. Let's say I get home from dinner, or you wake up tomorrow, check Twitter, and you see Liam Coen, it's the new head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The good news is it's Thursday, January 23rd, and kind of today and yesterday, it started on Monday with Ben Johnson going to the Chicago Bears. There's still a good litter out there. There's still a good group that Tampa could recover and find the proper coordinator that they're looking for, like the ideal coordinator. One thing that always scares me is the days that progress. This move for me personally, like I'm not a Buck manager. Obviously, I have no affiliation to the management staff, clearly, right? But this reminds me, or it doesn't remind me of, I have a little bit of caution because last year Mike Macdonald was hired by the the Seattle Seahawks on January 30th. Maybe it was January 29th, but I think it was January 30th. And he was the 8th out of the 9th coach hired of last year's coaching cycle. So what does that mean? That means all of the ideal offensive coordinators like last year, Cliff Kingsbury, Liam Coen, Dave Canales, or he became head coach, never mind, to Dave Canales, Ben Johnson, once again, there were a lot of offensive coordinators that just became head coaches, or defense coordinators that became head coaches like Mike Macdonald. My point is, when you hire your head coach, if you're a team that needs a new head coach and you hire a head coach, the first thing you're doing is hiring coordinators, right? We're already seeing it with a bunch of different dudes out there. Like Ben Johnson's already got, he says he's been figuring out his staff in the last couple of days. Well, he was hired from Chicago a couple of days ago. I assume by the end of the weekend, the Bears will know who their offense and defensive coordinators are going to be. So my point is, Mike Macdonald, in 1 week time, 1 year ago, was hired as the 8th out of the 9th coach of that cycle, and they had to go out there and get a less than ideal, or I should say, not their preferred pick at offensive coordinator. So they went with Ryan Grubb out of the University of Washington, and he got fired halfway or at the end of the season. So that didn't work. So that's just my point here is the good news is maybe in the next 24 hours, if Liam Coen does ultimately decide to be the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's still early on. that Tampa could go out there and find somebody that's going to fit Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, and what they're trying to do here. One quick note: John Spytek is penciled in to be the Raiders GM. The Raiders might get effed and shafted just like Tampa Bay here because Spytek, as we know, the assistant GM for Tampa for the last couple of years, he's been with this organization for a while now. That's a penciled in contract. Just like Liam Coen is penciled in to be the offensive coordinator for Tampa, the Raiders could lose their GM. The Bucks could lose their offensive coordinator. My point is, Liam Coen might just ruin a couple of future, maybe not job opportunities, because even though this would piss me off, I'm not going to wish ill will on his future. It's Jacksonville. I don't really care about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, sorry, I don't live in Jacksonville. I live in Tampa. I don't really care for Jacksonville, right? So I think he'd lose some relationships here. I think he'd burn a couple of bridges, but maybe it's worth it. That's it for today. I'm going to go get dinner. How do I remove this? I'm going to go get dinner. Let me know your thoughts on this. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. Yeah, let's hear your thoughts down below. This is stupid and unideal. That's it.